At one point in his career, Rabbi Nachman said, I'll begin telling you stories. And he tells us through his teachings that stories are garments of prayers. Well, really, what does that mean? You have a prayer, you're talking to the creator of the universe because you need things to happen, or want things to happen, thinks things should happen. Whatever your agenda is for praying, with the purity of your intention, that's not our issue here. He says that I'm going to tell stories, and those stories will be garments for prayers. That the story itself is a prayer. Now, how does that work? Well, we know that the prayer is designed to bring down new life force, sparks of holiness, clarifying the worlds, separating the pure from the impure, and bringing down the most pure drop of power into the mind, into the heart, and into the body, so that we can express that holy power in the world. That's prayer. So a story is passive. You read it from a book or you hear it read to you. Sometimes it's quiet. There's no prayer at all, it seems like. But when you look deeper and you understand what a prayer is words that are designed to draw power from heaven to earth, then you look at a story. What does a story do? Well, in Kabbalah, a story is called Ma'aseh Merkavah, the actions of the chariot, the workings of the chariot. The chariot is the tree of life that brings the finite power, infinite power into the finite world. Right? It goes up and down and up and down, and you can study it in Kabbalah for 50 years at every depth of precision that you will. But the idea is the same, to bring God's light down into the world through the actions of man, and that improves reality to make it, well, a redemptive place to live. A place you want to live, not a place where you have to run from rockets and tanks. And so when you hear a story, it's called Maseh Merkava, the working of the chariot. Well, it's a story about a rabbi who went here and he sold this and he bought this and this happened, and he went there and he gave a Torah and he met a rich man, and the rich man said, build me a palace. And, there's many stories. But what the story accomplishes is to create a Maseh Merkava, a channel of bringing light down into the world. So whether the light of the world is brought down through your speech, or the light of the world is brought down through a story, the same purpose, the same awesome idea is happening. Whether it's through asking for it or telling a story about it happening. Because either way, new life force is entered the mind through hearing a story or telling it. Now, you might say there's distinctions in this, Abraham, between the power you get from prayer and the power you get from reading a story before you go to sleep. And that's true, there are distinctions. How much power you put in will be equivalent to the power that you bring down into the world. And always remember, it's not for us, it's for the world. That means your children, your family, your community, your city, your state, your nation, and the whole race. And Rav Kook and Rabbi Nachman go on to teach us that even our prayers has the power to give life force to angels and to the planets and the constellations, because planets and constellations are just material entities that have angels guiding them. And gravity is a term for the attractive force between bodies, but without the spiritual component called an angel, which is the channel of power, the constellations don't stay together. I mean, it's a gravity angel. How's that? But trying to be a little more serious here. It's almost Shabbat, and the human being was created to bring God's power down into this world. So whether it's a prayer or a story, or you scream in the night, or you perform a good deed in the morning, or even if you smile at somebody, the Talmud says it's like you poured them a glass of milk. Now you got to think about back in the day when these statements were created. It was not so easy to get a glass of milk. You didn't open your refrigerator and pour it out of a carton. So getting a glass of milk from somebody was actually nice, especially if you're a little bit hungry and a little bit thirsty. He said, but smiling is a glass of milk means that even smiling, you're giving life force to somebody else. That works, right? It's always better when someone smiles at you. And if you smile back, well, then you create a link that can end up linking us all back to heaven. So take these thoughts into Shabbat and pay attention. Look around you. Where's the energy moving? Where's the good energy beginning and where's it ending? How does it move through you? How do you facilitate that movement of the great light, the one light, the true light of the creator of the universe, and you'll see miracles in front of your eyes. Shabbat Shalom. God bless.